Chapter 1. The Revolution Marches On. We're back with another twist in history on the Shadow Carapace. I'm Slipturtle, your shadow diving host, and this is What If? The Declassified Chronicles, Episode 3, Vietnam Sidestepped. Let's recap. Episode 1, November 22nd, 1963. JFK survives the Dallas assassination attempt, uncovers deep state involvement, and vows to dismantle it. Episode 2, 1964. He tears the CIA apart, splitting it into smaller agencies under tight oversight, leaving the deep state reeling. Now, in 1965, Kennedy's ready to tackle another beast, Vietnam. Fueled by declassified documents like NSAM 263, this episode dives into how he pulls the U.S. out of the war before it spirals, reshaping America and the world. With the CIA on a leash, Kennedy's got the freedom to act. But what happens when you sidestep a war that defined a generation? We're about to find out. Let's dig in. Chapter 2. Vietnam in Kennedy's sights. Kennedy's Vietnam stance was clear before Dallas. Get out, don't dig in. NSAM 263, signed October 11, 1963, ordered 1,000 troops out by year-end, with plans to withdraw most by 1965. Declassified tapes from 1963 meetings show him saying, "I don't want a full-scale war on our hands. It's a losing fight." In our timeline, his death handed the reins to Lyndon Johnson, who escalated. Troop numbers hit 536,000 by 1968, per Pentagon records. But here, Kennedy's alive, re-elected, and in control. With the CIA neutered from Episode 2, no more covert ops pushing for war, he doubles down. By January 1965, he announces, "We're not fighting a war in Vietnam. Our role ends with aid." He pulls the remaining 16,000 advisors out by summer, leaving South Vietnam with cash and weapons, but no boots on the ground. It's a bold move, rooted in NSAM 263's intent, but it's about to shake the world. Chapter 3. South Vietnam. Falls, America. Watches. Without U.S. troops, South Vietnam's regime, already shaky under President Ngo Dinh Diem's successors, crumbles fast. Let's speculate. By late 1965, North Vietnam's forces, led by Ho Chi Minh, overrun Saigon. The fall's quicker than in our timeline's 1975. No decade-long quagmire, no Tet offensive, no My Lai massacre. Kennedy's on TV, somber but firm. We gave them the tools. Their fight was their own. At home, reactions split. Doves cheer. Hawks, like Senator Barry Goldwater, fume, calling it a surrender to communism. But with no draft, no body bags, the public's largely on board. Polls in our timeline showed 60% opposed escalation by 1965 per Gallup. The deep state, already battered from the CIA crackdown, can't push back hard. Kennedy's charisma carries the day. Globally, the domino theory, communism spreading like wildfire, takes a hit. Laos and Cambodia, without U.S. bombing campaigns, see less chaos. The Khmer Rouge might never rise. The Cold War's chessboard just got flipped. Chapter 4. A different America emerges. No Vietnam War rewrites the 1960s. Let's break it down. First, domestically, no war means no anti-war protests tearing cities apart. No Kent State shootings, no Chicago riots at the 1968 Democratic Convention. The counterculture shifts. Less Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, more focus on civil rights anthems. Economically, the U.S. saves big. Our timeline's war cost $141 billion by 1975, per the Congressional Research Service. Here, Kennedy redirects that cash. Think more funding for his Apollo program, landing on the moon by 1969 with extra fanfare, and early seeds of Medicare passing by 1966. Socially, the 1960s feel less fractured. No war to divide generations, no veterans returning scarred. College campuses focus on civil rights, not draft dodging. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message resonates deeper without the war's shadow. Kennedy's approval soars, maybe 70% by 1966, a speculative jump from his pre-Dallas 63%. Chapter 5. The global ripple effects globally. The Cold War shifts. More speculation here. Without Vietnam, the US looks less like a war-hungry giant. The Soviet Union, sensing a less aggressive America, might push harder in Europe. Think a bolder Berlin Wall crisis in 1966. But Kennedy's détente, started with the 1963 Test Ban Treaty, keeps things from boiling over. China, without a US-Vietnam quagmire to exploit, might open to the West earlier. Nixon's 1972 visit could happen in 1967 under Kennedy. In Southeast Asia, a unified Vietnam under communism by 1966 becomes a Soviet ally, but without US intervention, it's less of a global flashpoint, more a regional shift. The US pivots to containment elsewhere, more aid to India against China, maybe a stronger focus on Africa. Kennedy's foreign policy, now unburdened by Vietnam, leans toward diplomacy over bombs. A new era dawns, but the deep state's still lurking, plotting its next move. Chapter 6. The fuse keeps burning. Kennedy's Vietnam sidestep isn't just a policy win, it's a seismic shift, a war dodged, a nation unbroken, a world rebalanced. This is episode 3 of the Shadow Carapace's wild saga, and I couldn't do it without my MVPs. Big love to Syllabi. They're the AI masterminds who take my raw, chaotic ideas and craft scripts that hit like a freight train. Without them, I'd be lost in the shadows, scribbling nonsense. They're the heartbeat of this series, so check them out in the description below. And Suno, those sonic wizards whip up the tense synthwave vibes you're hearing, pulling you straight into 1965's high-stakes drama. They're why my soundtracks slap. Give them love in the description too. Smash that like, subscribe, ring the bell. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Next week, April 15th, 2025, Episode 4. Cuba's Handshake. Kennedy normalizes ties with Castro, and the Cold War thaws. Comment: would no Vietnam have saved the 1960s? Share this. Let's make it explode.